these more in-depth kind of high video programs might be closer to that $70,000 to $100,000 per course, but a lot of that is upfront, and then you're doing some editing and revisions longer term. But it's just a big initial investment, but it's not that much for the difference of getting that 50 or 60% revenue share. So they just have a lot more capital to go out and market the program to continue to push and grow.
Got it.
So yeah, it can't be too tight on lowering tuition shares, otherwise they're not going to be successful.
Right. How about on the tuition side? So you've got University of Arizona. Let's just say hypothetically you've got the business school. There they offer tuition of $100K. The ASU has a deal with a much higher revenue share, so their tuition that they're showing to the student is higher. Let's say $120K. Like, does that make a difference on enrollment numbers or, swaying a student where, because I'm just thinking because you take a lower revenue share, the school also can offer a lower tuition level to the students, and net the students are swayed to some extent. Does that make any impact, or is it not really an issue?
I think it definitely makes an impact for, I'd say, like those schools outside of top 50 rankings. Because, really what's the difference going to a school ranked 55 versus a school that's ranked 70, right? And again, let's use an example.
Kyle?
In the range, yep.
Oh, sorry, you.
I'm sorry, I'm in a car here with someone that's driving, so apologize. Can you hear me all right now?
Yeah,
So I think if you look at a program that's ranked, outside of the top 50, it does come down to tuition, because what's the big difference between going to a school that's ranked 55 versus a school that's 70? And if it is, a significant increase, if it's $10,000 more for one program versus the other program, does that really make a difference? And how many other peer schools are out there in the tuition? I think when you look at these more elite schools that are out there in the top 50 for each program, or maybe some in the top 25, they can justify the higher tuition price because of the school and the faculty that's teaching it.
Right.
So I think it does make a difference. But, if you want to look at these schools outside of the top 50, yes, if you can have a lower tuition share and a lower overall tuition, you can generally be more effective in enrollments. But on the flip side, potentially if you have more money to market the program, could you be more effective with the program by adding some unique things like specialization, or trying to position that you have best-in-class learning management platform that's out there. So I think it can go both ways.
Okay, great. Last question I thought I'd ask before I let you go is just thinking about margins and profitability. And again, what I'm using for context is 2U, who says that they have high 30s EBITDA margin for their longest, sort of most mature programs, and that, the implication is that, all future programs can also get to that level of profitability when they get mature. So I guess I was curious if that argument sort of hangs together, or if there might be any reasons why that might not be true.
I think that actually, I think that is true. If anything, they might actually be able to increase that longer term with efficiencies from SEO for some of these mature programs, if they're not having to continue to grow huge revenue or huge student growth year over year. If they can kind of define the plateau and scale, because you start building up referrals and other people in the space, or other opportunities. So yeah, I think that's reasonable, especially with the roster of clients that they have.
Okay, got it. Super. I think that was it for the questions I had. Anything else you would point out about the OPM space that we didn't hit on before I let you go?
No, I think we covered. All the areas. I think it's still a land grab for everyone in the space, and it's a topic that every school that is looking at. So we forecast a lot of large growth year over year in the space.
And do you think